The stands of the Franklin Field for the 121st time at the University of Pennsylvania, while many more people gear up for another running event, the Broad Street 10 Miler. Hello, I'm Madison Elliott.
And I'm Corey Meredith. The biggest news at LaSalle surrounds the retirement of the very starter of our communication department, which begs the question, will LaSalle Com ever be the same again? We have all of this and more coming up on LTV News, where the action never stops.
Hello and welcome to LTV News, where we bring you everything LaSalle, Philadelphia, and world news.
There is plenty coming your way today with a special interview with our very own Professor Sydney McLeod, who will be retiring this semester.
And later, Steve Graham gets us thinking about summer with a student panel to discuss what they will be doing once the semester ends in a few short weeks. But first, let's catch up on what went down in LaSalle this week. LaSalle had some unique visitors this month. The university was joined by Tibetan monks during the week of April 13th to the 17th. The monks came to talk to students and also share one of their beautiful traditions with us here at LaSalle. The monks created one of their intricate sand mandalas. According to the Huffington Post, mandalas always contain a center point and a circle, surrounded by some sort of symmetrical design, which is carefully filled with colorful grains of sand. It is part of a ritual based in Buddhism, with the mandala representing the universe. After the art is carefully pieced together, it is dismantled. The monks here at LaSalle took the creation, swept part of the sands in an urn, distributed sand to the audience, and carried the rest of it to the nearest body of water and released the grains, symbolizing a healing blessing that will spread to the world through the ocean.
Here at LaSalle, the university wants to take a stand against sexual violence. One way they do this is by hosting Take Back the Night, a special evening with guest speakers, poetry, a candlelight visual to speak up and speak out against sexual violence.
Myself, along with reporter Anna Gomez, went to get coverage of the event. Take a look.
April 22nd, explorers united in the chapel for Take Back the Night. Originating in the 1970s, Take Back the Night is now a worldwide initiative that takes place every year. It is a way for people of all walks of life to raise awareness and stand in solidarity against sexual violence. One of the earliest Take Back the Night marches took place here in Philadelphia in 1975. LaSalle's Take Back the Night evening, which was sponsored by UMass, the Violence Against Women group, and Women's Rights Awareness Program, featured prayer, music, and spoken word. One student shared their story as a victim and survivor of sexual assault. They stressed the importance of programs like Take Back the Night in the effort to combat sexual violence and help its survivors. LaSallians then joined together with a candlelight vigil in honor and memory of all sexual assault victims. As the candles were lit, it was a beautiful but solemn reminder of the adversity sexual assault victims face in their lives and the hurdles they jump every day. Take Back the Night wants to remind students that if they have any concern for the well-being of themselves or someone else, they should contact the Student Counseling Center in McShane Hall. For LTV News, I'm Anna Gomez.
Thank you, Anna. Truly an effective night.
Now we come to you with some very big news that will be sure to affect the communication department forever. The co-founder of our communication department, Professor Sydney McLeod, decided to retire after serving 56 years. Brendan Rigney sat down with Professor McLeod to reminisce and get his final words as a professor here at LaSalle.
Oh, I was going to be on television, I thought, today.
Communication department legend, 82-year-old Sid McLeod, has decided to hang up those XLR cables and retire after 56 years at LaSalle University. Before leaving at the end of this spring, he looks back at decades past and the role he played in starting the department.
I taught speech in the English department and worked with the mask for many years. When Dan had some health problems, I the mask. Then I ran into Brother Richard Hawley, who was in charge of the audiovisual services, and he had bought some television equipment while I was teaching speech courses, and at that time I thought, well, this is great. So then from that, the video thing just started to grow. Brother Richard and I built a studio down in the basement of Olney Hall. Finally, in 1994, we came into the comm center. We're here today.
When the man who helped build the department was asked what he would miss most, he gave a very unsurprising yet very sentimental answer.
I'll say I have an A and an A1 thing. A1 would be my colleagues here at LaSalle. It's really been rewarding to work with people here at LaSalle. And then A1, A2 would of course be the students.
And for those future students that he won't have,
you know, just pursue what you want to do. Have a passion for something. Just go and do it. You know, for the students like today that we have here who make the movies for the campus movie fest and do that, that's what they have to do. They want to make movies. Well, you go do it, because we have the equipment, we have the facilities and things for people to do the things that they want to do. I mean, do these things. Don't just sit around and take the classes and graduate. You know, this is a time for you to soak in the knowledge and the technology and the things that can help you go into communications in whatever you want to do. You create that communication. It doesn't exist. The information is there, kind of the stuff is there, but you put it in a form. It becomes a play, your idea. It becomes a documentary. It becomes a news report. That's a creative act. So you have to create. You have to do these things. You got to approach it that way. That's what it is. You have some information, material, whatever it is, to communicate to somebody, and you have to figure out, how am I going to do this? Everybody does it in creative things. The people who write movies and direct movies and write plays and direct plays and write novels all have an idea, and then they have to develop it. So it's a creative act. So do. Think and do.
and so says the man that helped make LaSalle Communication what it is today. Reporting for LTV News, I'm Brendan Rigney.
We will truly miss you, Professor. Thank you for all of your years of teaching and guidance to LaSalle students.
We wish you a happy retirement. Now it's time to wrap up LaSalle news and take you to Philadelphia news. Take it away, Corey.
Thanks, Madison. Get out there and run, Philadelphia. It's time to stop being a cocoon in your homes. Put on your sneakers and enjoy the city, as well as beautiful spring weather during the Broad Street Run. According to visitphilly.com, the annually held Blue Cross Broad Street Run will be held on May 3rd as people walk, stroll, or run the 10-mile distance from northern Philadelphia to the Navy Yard, with the final stop being at the Delaware waterfront. Along with helping for a good cause, you will also see some of the famous landmarks Philadelphia has to offer, including City Hall, the Avenue of the Arts, and the sports complex stadiums. For more information, go to www.broadstreetrun.com.
Get your goggles, your beaker tubes, and get nerdy, Philadelphia. The annual Philadelphia Science Fair began Friday, April 24th and will go until Saturday, May 2nd. According to the Philadelphia Science Festival, the community-wide celebration of science will feature a variety of other informal science education experiences for Philadelphians of all ages, such as displays, lectures, and hands-on activities. If you want to check out what the latest scientific developments are and can't make it to the festival, you can go on their website at www.philasciencefestival.org.
The Philadelphia Eagles have signed former Heisman Trophy winner and first-round pick Tim Tebow to a one-year deal. The news sent shockwaves through the city of brotherly love and also social media. Tim Tebow has always been a big name, and after the Eagles signed the Philadelphia Pretzel Factory, saw an opportunity to make some dough. No pun intended. The Pretzel Factory came up with a Tebowing pretzel. The pretzels were sold for only $1, and just like the real human Tebow, they were all over social media sites. Tebow was signed for a one-year deal with no money guaranteed. If he makes the Eagles roster, he could make the Eagles and also the Philly Pretzel Factory some money.
Over 100,000 fans flocked to Franklin Field at the University of Pennsylvania over the final weekend of April. The 121st annual Penn Relays promised to showcase some worldwide renowned talent. High school, collegiate, and professional athletes from across the globe competed in the three-day event. On Saturday, April 25th, the traditional USA versus the World race kicked off. The American flexed their muscles, winning 4 of the 6 events, including the 100, 400, and the 800, and the 1,600-meter relays. Some of the world's best collegiate talent also flaunted their talent in pole vault, jumping, and throwing events. Fans got the chance to see Olympic development races as well, while athletes set their eyes on the 2016 Summer Olympics in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
The next big thing that also happened during the weekend of the Penn Relays was the opening of the Philly Bike Share. Madison, we had so much fun doing that.
We really did. It was really awesome. So as soon as we got off the City Hall subway stop, there was just a line of bikes, and it was $4 per half an hour.
Yep. It was so easy. You just stuck your debit card in,
yeah,
and then you grab and go. And we went all over. We saw lots of different sites, and it was really fun.
Yeah, we tried out the new Philly Boardwalk.
Yep.
So let's check out some of the places we went. We have some pictures and footage from the day so you can see just where we ended up.
Reporters Corey Meredith and Madison Elliott got the chance to head out into Center City and try out the new Indigo Bike Share. Only costing $4 per half hour, anyone can pay with a debit card and go. We saw all different scenes, including Love Park, and then we rode down to the Art Museum where another bike share was located. Continuing our trip, Madison and I rode our Indigo bikes along the Schuylkill River and across the newly built Schuylkill Bridge. For more pictures and information about our bike share experience, find us on Twitter at LaSalle TV News.
As we all know, the World Meeting of Families will be taking place here in the City of Brotherly Love this fall. This year's Congress will focus on the family. The theme is Love is Our Mission, the family fully alive.
The Pope will be concentrating on the family as the sanctuary of love and life. To discuss this topic, reporter Mickey Kelly, an intern for the Archdiocese of Philadelphia, sat down with Liz Pando, the Director of Communications for the World Meeting of Families. Unfortunately, we had technical difficulties with our equipment, so we will not be able to show the interview today, and hopefully we can get the interview up on YouTube soon if everything works out technically. But we just wanted to hit some of the high facts that Liz had talked to us about.
Yeah, she talked about how they're still looking for volunteers and that people should really get involved, and how there's a majority of different religions coming, and that she says that everyone should go out and really try to get involved with this event.
Exactly, since it's the first time that the Pope is coming to the U.S. for the World Meeting of Families, so it's a really big deal.
We still want to extend a thank you to Lizanne for taking the time out of her busy schedule to sit down with us. Hopefully we are able to get the interview up on YouTube soon. Well, that's the latest news we have for you on Philadelphia, so let's move to some world news. Madison, all yours.
Thanks, Corey. This next story will prove to be quite the tearjerker. In Lenovia, Michigan, 22-year-old college student Roland Gaynor helped raise more than $100,000 for a 72-year-old cancer-stricken Uber driver by the name of Kane Wayne Broski. According to Fox News, Broski was given 2 to 10 weeks to live from terminal cancer, and Gaynor wanted to help in any way possible. Gaynor set up a GoFundMe account to pay off Broski's house to help save it for Broski's daughter and grandkids to live in after he passes. It just goes to show you that a random act of kindness can go very far and restore someone's faith in humanity.
The 99th Annual Pulitzer Prize took place the second to last week of April, recognizing many authors and artists for their journalism work, book writing, and music involvement. The Post and Courier of Charleston won for their article series, Till Death Do Us Part, which focused on domestic violence. The Wall Street Journal newsroom won an award, the first since Rupert Murdoch obtained the company. The Times took home 3 Pulitzers and became the biggest winner of the night. In addition, Bloomberg Newsroom brought home their first award. A novelist, a playwright, a musical composer, and a poet won in the artist category. The composer Julia Wolfe, a Pennsylvania native, won a Pulitzer for her work on the coal miners of our state. A big congrats to all of the winners.
Riots broke out in West Baltimore on Monday, April 27, protesting the death of Freddie Gray. Gray was an African-American male who died while in custody of police officials. However, the cause of his death is not yet known. Petitioners rushed to the streets of West Baltimore, burning cars and destroying local stores. The rioting was so extreme that the National Guard had to step in to support Baltimore police officials, and a 10 p.m. curfew was placed on the city. Since Monday, the riots have calmed, but we wish Gray's family and the city of Baltimore a safe and quick recovery.
Now we are going to take a quick break, but don't move.
Steve Graham will be joining us with a student panel to discuss their plans for this upcoming summer. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Nutrition Bites. I am your host, Steve Graham, joined today by dietetic intern Dorio Bertello, who sits down to discuss gluten-free diets, a very popular diet in society today. Could you start a little bit with telling us what is gluten?
That's a great question. Gluten is actually just a protein. It's naturally found in wheat and other grains like barley and rye, and some of the ancient grains you see now, like farro and spelt, are also types of wheat. So gluten can be found in all those grains. It's 100% naturally occurring. It's not a byproduct or an additive.
Yeah, and you definitely find that in a lot of common foods we eat, but is this gluten-free diet that people are going on, is this a healthy diet to be on? Is it contributing to weight loss? What are your thoughts on that?
So for your average person without any diseases or conditions, a gluten-free diet doesn't really offer any health benefits. There's no scientific evidence tying it to weight loss or any other types of health improvements. So for a regular person that goes on a gluten-free diet, the reason they may initially see weight loss is because it's very restrictive. A gluten-free diet usually means no bread, no pasta, you're reading labels on foods and eliminating a lot of processed foods as well. So because of this level of restriction, some people may see weight loss initially, but as they adjust to this new diet, they gain it back, and it's more just the restriction than the gluten-free.
And that really does not sound like it's for me. But who do you think should go on this diet? What is this diet best for? What kind of people?
So some people do need to follow a gluten-free diet for health reasons. The two main groups are people with celiac disease and people with a disease called non-celiac gluten sensitivity. So those are both diagnosed by your physician and require blood tests and other sorts of diagnostic workups. So if you think that this may be a problem for you, it's really important to go see your doctor. But if you know that you don't have celiac disease or any sort of gluten sensitivity, there's really no reason to follow a gluten-free diet.
Well, Dora, I'd like to thank you for joining us. That was a great health tip on this Nutritional Bite episode. We thank you for joining us and for improving our diets.
This message brought to you by the LaSalle Nutrition Department.
Welcome back. I am your host, Steve Graham, of today's LTV News debate panel. And as we wrap up this first season of LTV News and we prepare for summer here in the Philadelphia area and in New Jersey and Delaware, we like to enjoy the Jersey Shore. And I have two panelists on today, new to the show, but here to discuss their favorite beaches to go to in the summer. We have Eddie Dunn, the LTV's host of Q&A, joining us, and Ryan Gerace, a fudge maker in Ocean City, New Jersey, and the class of 2017. Thank you for joining us, guys.
Yeah,
so let's start with what beach do you go to? You set your vacation time away from work. What beach are you traveling to?
First of all, Steve, I want to say it's a great shirt.
Thank you. Thank you.
I say for the most part, when I go down to the beach, I'm going to Wildwood more often than not. I go to other beaches from time to time, but that's the second home.
Yeah, just tell me a little bit about what makes Wildwood Beaches just the place to be.
Well, that's a tough question to answer. Why I think it's a place to be? I mean, I just love being on the beach in general. I could sit on the beach for hours at a time, and I think it's nice that it's a public beach. I mean, I live 2 hours away from the shore, so I'm not going to be down there all the time. So I'm not going to get a beach tag, go to a private beach. So the fact that it's a public beach is nice. A lot of people are there. They have volleyball courts. I love playing volleyball on the beach, so that's a big plus. Not a lot of beaches I go to have the volleyball nets up. So
beach volleyball phenom. Ryan, as for you, while you're making fudge on the Ocean City Boardwalk, is that the beach you like to go to, or is there another South Jersey beach with your heart?
As much as I love Ocean City where I work, I prefer to go to a beach called Longport. It's a very nice, very secluded beach. Not a lot of, shoebies. It's a lot of just open space, open water. can relax. No screaming little kids.
Yeah, and
like at the fudge shops.
So while you're not going to the beach, a lot of us college students, what is the nightlife like in Wildwood? To start with you, Eddie, what do you do, you know, after you get all the sand off you?
Well, Wildwood's got big nightlife scene. I mean, they have the boardwalk, and the boardwalk's like 2 miles long. They got the piers, they got all sorts of shops and stuff. I mean, I don't really spend money on games there because that's a waste of money, even though I'm a crane game legend. I retired from the industry. I retired from the crane games because I'm so good at them. I don't want to lose any more money. But I know, I mean, I'm not old enough to go, but they got bars and nightclubs all around Wildwood that I know people go to, but I stick to the boardwalk.
And Ryan, what does Longport have to offer after beach hours?
Honestly, you have to make your own nightlife there. There's nothing except for like a lot of nice houses. So, I mean, one time, like me and my friends just had like a bonfire on the beach, you know, had some non-alcoholic drinks, and just had a nice little time.
So there's not a lot of, you're allowed to just have a bonfire on the beach, not a lot of
You have to have a
police
license,
patrol?
but my friend has a license, so
That's awesome.
you're good to go if you have that.
Yeah, that definitely
Yeah.
sounds like a good time.
It was.
But Eddie, you did mention the boardwalk of Wildwood, which is very well known, I'd say, by people across this country. Does Longport have a boardwalk?
It does not.
Okay, so the place to go, we'll say, we'll have to settle on Wildwood for the boardwalk. But what does a
Absolutely.
Wildwood boardwalk have to offer?
Well, Wildwood Boardwalk, what do they have? They have 3 piers with rides on them. They used to have 4, but they got rid of one of them. They got 3 piers with amusement park rides. They got roller coasters, extreme rides, pretty much something for everybody. And they have 2 water parks on 2 of the piers, and then they have kind of like a additional pier for a 3rd water park. So they got 3 water parks, 3 piers with rides on them, and plenty of other stuff. But I mean, that's one of the main reasons people go.
Yeah, it's cool. I know that there's also bike riding in the morning at Wildwood.
Yes, I ride my bike
rent
on the
tons of bikes.
boardwalk almost every single morning when I'm down there. Or I rollerblade. I'm not embarrassed to say it. I'm very good at rollerblading, so I rollerblade on the boardwalk from time to time too.
Interesting hobby. But going forward, another popular thing of going to the shore is a nice slice of pizza. Everybody has that shop that they go to. They order their pizza or go on the boardwalk. Ryan, we'll start with you. What is Longport's pizza place, or even any other food place that you have to get when you go to Longport?
Well, like I said, there's little to no restaurants there. If you want to get something to eat, you got to go to like Margate, which is like right next to it. And there's a nice pizza place there called, I think it's Johnny's. And you just get whatever pizza you want there. It's reasonable size. It's good.
Well,
Recommend it.
There it is. There's your 2 Wildwood. There's many other Jersey shores to attend. But Wildwood or Longport, both offering some good nightlife and a good beach life. But I'd like to thank my panelists for joining me. Be sure to find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. You can catch us all on the social network. Keep up with our episodes. Be sure at the web as well, the rest of LaSalle TV on Facebook, facebook.com/LaSalle TV. And you can tweet at us at LaSalle.TV Philly. If you missed the scoop and want to see it, you can find episodes on YouTube at youtube.com/LaSalle56. Until next time, for Madison, Corey, and the entire crew, I'm Steve Graham. Thanks for watching the first season of LTV News, where the action never stops.